to the College of Medicine, University of Lagos. As we are all aware, this is the University of First Choice and the nation's pride. As we all know, there's only one university in Nigeria, and that is the University of Lagos and others. And if you are proud to be a staff of this great institution, please let's give ourselves a resounding applause. We are making history here today. For many of us that did not witness the NUGA Games so many years ago, we are so delighted that this is coming to the College of Medicine, and we are receiving the touch of unity. And on this note, I'd like to welcome everybody by starting with the national anthem, followed by the New Land anthem. The University of First Choice and the nation's pride, Professor Oluwatoyin Ogundipe FAS, ably represented by our DVC DS, Professor Ayodele Atsenuwa. You're welcome. Provost, I think we need to give a chieftaincy title to the DVC DS. Yes, maybe Mama Adini of Araba. Yes. Thank you very much, ma, for coming. And also we have on this side of the table the registrar of the University of Lagos. That's our very own registrar, Oladejo Assis Esquire. We also have on this side of the table the University Librarian, Professor Mrs. Yetunde Zaid. You're welcome, ma'am. Zaid, you're welcome. And we have our own commander-in-chief here in Araba, even though the grand commander is the VC, so he's the one saying the affairs in Araba, and all the other Obas are saying hello to our own KBC here in Araba. That's the Provost of the College of Medicine, Professor David Adewale. And at this point also, we also have one of our mommy. She was a past Court of Governor member here, and she comes in regularly. I think we have to give several titles today. I don't know whether we'll give her the Mama Jini 2 of Araba. That's Professor Okoyola Olusegun. You're welcome, ma'am. And this time, I don't know whether some of us are not wearing an ID card because we have a law enforcement officer here and you don't want to be arrested or your salary to be deducted. Please kindly get your ID card right now. Our Director, Quality Assurance and Servicom, Professor Great Otinwa, you're welcome. Let me also recognize in our midst the Executive Secretary, NUGA Games, Dr. Awonifa JP. You're welcome. And also at this side of the table, I would like to recognize our own College Secretary, Director of Administration, Dr. Olayinka Obafemi Moses FNI. You're welcome, sir. And the other side of the table, we have our Director of Finance, Dr. S.A. Akinade. You're welcome, sir. Our own, we call her Mama of Clinical Sciences. That's the team. Faculty of Clinical Sciences, Professor Olashade Akishola. You're welcome. Next to her is our Dean, Faculty of Data Sciences, Professor O.O. Dakosa. You're welcome. Next to her, we have our Dean, Faculty of Basic Medical Sciences, Professor O. Oluyemi Akinloyi, represented by Professor Mike Ibiabuchi. You're welcome, sir. And we also have in our list the Dean, Faculty of Pharmacy, Professor Adewale. You're welcome. We also have in our midst as well the Director of Engineering Services, Engineer Olatubosu Oloyede. You're welcome, sir. Our own acting medical librarian, Dr. N.B. Ukachi. You're welcome, ma'am. Also, we have the Deputy College Secretary, General Administration, Mr. O.A. Khalede Owotutu. You're welcome, sir. And we have also in our midst the Acting Director, Works and Physical Planning Unit, Engineer Akinwade. You're welcome, sir. And at this side of the table, I would like to recognize the members of staff of the College of Medicine, University of Lagos, the heads of department here, present faculty officers. Let's give you ourselves a deciding applause. And I think before we leave here, the Vice-Chancellor will give us Buddha palliative, if I'm right. Yes. I am Oluwatoyin Ogundipe, the Alumni Relations Officer of the college. Right now, the Provost of the College of Medicine, University of Lagos, Professor David Adewale will give his welcome remarks.
Professor Oluwatoyin Ogundipe FAS, ably and honorably represented by the DVC Development Service, Professor Ayodele Atsenuwa, welcome. Other principal officers of the University of Lagos, principal officer and management of the College of Medicine, University of Lagos, all deans present, the Executive Secretary of NUGA, Dr. Awonifa, staff, students, and distinguished guests. I'm delighted to welcome you all to this special occasion, which is an attestation to the fact that the VC, Professor Oluwatoyin Ogundipe FAS, and the entire management of the University of Lagos are goal-getters. Winning the hosting right of the 26th edition of the game and right of the Vice-Chancellor in steering the ship of our great university of first choice of the nation's pride. I want to specifically appreciate the NUGA Secretariat of the university for counting the college worthy as an integral part of the university that will receive this touch of unity. We in the college hereby pledge unalloyed support towards the very successful games which I believe will be a reference point to the history of the Games for years to come. I'm particularly hopeful that great and future stars shall be produced during the edition of the Games. I recall that in the previous events, University of Lagos, the University of First Choice and Nation's Pride produced world-class athletes such as Adewale and Amesemeka, Dorcas, Aloyagu, Samson, Egbeyemi, Adekola, Wasiu Soni, and Fumi Otegbeye, who is now a senior coach in this university and many others. I reiterate that all our staff and students have been fully mobilized to attend the various games. On behalf of the management and the entire staff of the college, we will support the university with our widow's mite to the tune of 2 million naira. Once again, I welcome you all to the College of Medicine, University of Lagos, Araba.
Ably represented by our mommy, Mama Dini one of Araba. That's Professor Ayodele Atsenuwa, our DBC Development Services.
Thank you very much. The Registrar of the University of Lagos, the librarian, the Provost College of Medicine, who actually is our chief host here today, members of the university management, principal officers of the College of Medicine, distinguished deans, directors, and every other protocol duly respected. It is a great pleasure to finally get here in the spirit of one university. Two campuses, but only one university. I bring the apologies of the Vice-Chancellor. He intended to join us, but he has had to be called away. We just finished the meeting. Part of why I was late was that the NUGA main organizing committee arrived last night, and the meetings have started to ensure that the technical aspects of the games are actually put in place. And the VC is overseeing some other things. And because we didn't want to delay, since we had scheduled the time, he asked that I come and represent him. NUGA. I want to imagine that every one of us knows about NUGA. NUGA is in its 26th edition, having started in 1965. In 1965, the Nigerian University Games Association was formed and hosted the first games. Underlying it was offer an opportunity for recreation. Another concept underlying it was provide a platform for development of world-class sports, men and women. And indeed, NUGA has been doing that over the last roughly 50 years and counting. We are very glad that NUGA has come back to University of Lagos. This is the 4th time that we're hosting. Yes, we hosted in 68, 78, 98, and we bidded to host this in 2018. We would have held these games in 2019, but some things we were not very ready, and we requested a small extension of time to about this time 2020, and then COVID struck. And so we are 2 years behind, but at least we're back to where we want to. The last NUGA Games, and this is not because we are UNILAG, but the history is written that that was the best NUGA Games, and we're hoping to host the best to date NUGA Games. At the last count, and it's because it's UNILAG, at the last count, when they went to Benue State about 5 years ago, 2017, there were only 34 participating universities. When it got to everybody's ears that University of Lagos is hosting, we have 75 accredited universities. And that brings to our university, at the last count, official figures given of those thoroughly accredited. Some others are still being processed. We already have over 4,400 athletes registered to participate in 16 sports, 16 different sports. Of course, football, swimming, cricket, hockey, basketball, handball, volleyball, judo, taekwondo, karate, and no, I mentioned football first. Provost, I already mentioned squash, squash, and of course, yes, I mentioned that. And then we have the indoor games. We of course have badminton, we have badminton, we have the ball games, badminton, table tennis, then we have chess, we have Scrabble. And I'm happy to tell you that some of the University of Lagos athletes, apart from the ones in the past who went on to be international athletes, we actually have some of the current students who are also international athletes. Our judokas participated in some national competition about 3 weeks ago, and they qualified to represent Nigeria in the Commonwealth. And we also have some of our athletes who have already participated in some sports. Our aspiration is not to make university sports, institutional sports, to take it away from the marginal and to center it. And that is why even after hosting NUGA, as we have tried to put in place, and I can tell you in our preparations, at this point we can boast. If anybody says a co for show, you should not be apologetic. You should not be apologetic, because indeed we have something to show. Yes. If you have the time, just come around the sports center. At this point in time, we have an international standard cricket pitch, the only one in Nigeria, with international games, international as in Nigeria versus Liberia and all of this Sierra Leone already being played. We have a football field that meets international specifications. We have a swimming, we have an Olympic size swimming pool with all the appurtenances, including the timing switch. So exactly as it is done in the Olympics is how it is going to be done. We have upgraded all our courts. All our courts. The only, even when the sports center was built, the basketball prescriptions, the court prescriptions were different. We have even adapted the courts to the current international size. This we have done with support from partners, friends, as many people. Some individuals give. The Ministry of Education, I have told, when we presented the torch to the minister last week, and he had that we were going to be hosting over 5,000 students, over 1,000 officials of games generally. He himself had to say, it looks like you need help. And we are glad to hear that it looks like we will get some help from there. But it is a massive project, and it is a project that we all should own and be proud of. And that is why we decided that no, we have to get to Araba. We have gone to others, we have handed over the torch of unity to say, let's work together to make this 26th edition of NUGA Games something that the world speaks about. With charity, even if we didn't really start it from home, it was end at home. And it's ending at home. And I can only invite you to please join the NUGA Games. Join the NUGA Games on site if there are particular sports you want to join. Join the NUGA Games at the scientific conference that will hold on Wednesday, 23rd of March. Join the NUGA Games online. We're going full blast online. So Unilag TV, Unilag Radio, and of course all our social media handles. So you can be at work and you can still glance at it. We're working very hard, and I pray it works, that at least for the opening ceremony, where it's a huge cost, but if miracles still happen, and if we get that windfall miracle, we will actually have a viewing center of the opening ceremony in Araba. But so let's match our desire with prayers, because that can only be done with massive money. And but we also know that Super Sports is supporting us, and they will be streaming live. So if we're not able to do that, everybody can watch on Super Sports the whole day aside from. So please, and it is not just, the games are not about us staff. Yes, we provide the leadership, because we are the ones who are fundraising, we are the ones making policy and all of those things. But we need to mobilize our student support. I'm very glad to note that in the students contingent, in the Unilag athletes, we have a sizable number of students from the College of Medicine. I'm sure the various teams are aware, because for those who have to do some things, well, strike also helps us. There's a little way which strike helps us. They are all in the camp on campus. And we have some of their representatives here with us today. NUGA is about athletes. These are NUGA athletes and some volunteers supporting the whole process, and the event is all about them and the future. So they are the ones that we are supporting, all of us here, including you. These are the ones we're supporting, so they get it right, and they pass the torch to the next generation, and we continue to do it that way. So without much ado, Provost Sir, I think we will just do the business that we came here for, which is the presentation of the torch. The torch is going to be lit, and so so that we do not get ourselves into any hazard, we usually don't do it under any cover. We will go into the open because it is real fire, it is gas lit, and the students will do the presentation of the torch to the provost and the team that supports the provost here in college. This was particularly picked for him. So this is one of the many t-shirts for NUGA, and it reads, there's a play on words there. There's a play on words there, my alma matters. So these are the matters of my institution, my alma mater. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's a NUGA music.
No, don't do that now.
Wow. Depending on a lot of people are depending on you.
Boss, you are blocking this now. Wow. Oh yeah, yes.
Sorry, can you move back?
Is it better or the space out? Are you okay? Come on, are you okay?
I'm okay, sir, I'm getting it.
Can we hear our music now? Okay. What did you get it?
Yes, I did.
Very well.
I did.
Take it. Don't you have that?